Hey, you guys, welcome to the Pain in My Cast podcast. If you've been following me for a little while, things look a little different. I first started my podcast, Pain in My Cast, at home out of my kitchen table as a way to express things that I was going through after a breakup. I had always been fascinated with podcasting, and I knew I wanted to make that happen for myself. And so, I did that podcast, took a break, brought in a co host, did a separate podcast called In the Lobby Podcast. That was an amazing, amazing learning lesson for me. It was a huge upgrade because I went from recording podcasts at my kitchen table to all of a sudden having a podcast sponsor pay all of my studio fees. I was in a studio recording with really cool guests like Mike Johnson from The Bachelor, Julie Tice from The Trust on Netflix, and the whole dynamic of my podcast changed so much because it went from a girl trying to share her story and be authentically herself to, navigating having a co-host, navigating interviewing other people, which is something I very much still want to do and share other people's stories, but then kind of losing the core of why she loved podcasting, which was almost just to turn everything off and get it out there as my own form of therapy, I would say, but something so much deeper than that. I'm someone who very much so believes that one of our purposes on this earth is to create, no matter what that looks like for you, right? I am not a singer. Well, I can sing a little bit, but I'm not a singer, not really a dancer. I think using my voice and my authenticity and sharing my story has always been a gift of mine. And so I encourage you, whatever gift you feel like you have, whatever calls to you, whatever you feel like you're most passionate about, go create and go make it happen, because that's all that we're here to do. And make sure that you enjoy the process of doing it along the way. So that's just a quick little intro. I'm not gonna really start off this episode as a welcome back to the Pain in My Cast, as anything about introductory, who I am, how old I am, what my life looks like. What I want to do is set the stage for 2025 for my listeners and just give you a really profound, impactful episode, because like I said, our purpose on this earth, in my opinion, is to create. And I think if you don't know where you're going and what you want out of life and what your goals are, then that's a very difficult challenge. I said something to someone the other day about me creating my 2025 vision board, and I feel like they looked at me like that's so woo-woo, or that's really good for you that you do that. And I was so confused, because if you don't have the vision, if you don't know where you want to be, how are you going to get there? If you don't even know where you're trying to end up, you're just going to fumble along life like an NPC. And for those of you that don't know what NPC is, it's non-player character. That's like the nerd in me from like video games. No one wants to be a non-player character. This is main character energy. You are the main character of your own life. And if you have forgotten that, excuse my language, but wake the fuck up. This is your life, okay? And you deserve to live your life the way that you wanted to. You know? You could sit there on easy mode, but I don't believe that's what God intended for us. I think he wants you to wake up and go after what you feel called to, and what's important to you and what adds value to other people in your life. And I truly believe that when we show up and focus on our purpose, it affects everyone else around us. Just even for myself, podcasting, I felt so called to podcasting, and I've taught myself so much about podcasting and the marketing behind it. And just even within my circle of friends, I've had multiple girlfriends start podcasts and start creating, and it's just like this magical, beautiful community has happened for me of other women who are trying to share their stories and their voices, and we all light each other up. And I truly believe that I was meant to meet each one of these women. And so when we're kind of on the path doing the things that we're meant to do, we're reminding other people that that's possible for them as well. And then they're going and reminding other people. And that's so beautiful and so impactful. And I'm just excited that I'm sitting here podcasting again, and talking about these beautiful girlfriends of mine that I have. So what I want you to do is to really think about what you want your dream life to look like. Like, what does that look like for you every day? I used to think about the woman that I wanted to be and what she would wake up and do and what her routine would look like. And oh my God, it was so like hustle, 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 hustle. Like wake up at 6 a.m., do 25 million things throughout the day. And this year, that's not what I want. Like, yes, I want to accomplish a lot of things. I have a lot of things I want to get done, but I can do it in a softer way. I can do it in a much softer, more feminine, less masculine, healing, sweet, loving, nurturing way for myself. And that has me so excited. And I feel like the more that I tell the universe and I tell God, like, this is gonna happen to me, even when I'm showing up as my softest, most receiving self, that's huge. And, being the tech nerd that I am, I rely really heavily on ChatGPT. If you haven't used ChatGPT, I highly encourage you to use it. The more you use it, the better you get at it. I just feel like it unlocks infinite ways for you to, use it in a purposeful way. Like, yes, AI is scary. Yes, AI can be scary, but AI is never going to take away from who we are and your authenticity and your story. And so I think if you can use AI to help outline your goals and figure out what story you want for yourself, then that's a great use of AI. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through some ChatGPT prompts that I used this year to help me create my vision board for 2025. Because what I used to do is, I've done this for years. I've done vision boards, and they've always been, like a physical vision board, like a poster board, cut out the magazines, the whole ordeal. In the past, I've even written like letters to myself and taped them on the back, but I never spent a lot of time thinking about my goals and my vision per se. I was just cutting out images that I felt like resonated with me. And I think in the past, a lot of the images that resonated with me were for like materialistic items, and very material driven. And I think that was doing myself a disservice because I feel like a vision board should encompass a feeling. When you're trying to manifest your life, to kind of quantum jump and get where you want to be, I believe you have to put yourself into that state of being, that state of receiving, and that state of feeling, like what that feels like. And so for me, with the vision boards in the past, materialistic items like a bag or a trip, even, maybe that's not really emulating the feeling that I want in my life for the year. So I encourage you to use these prompts and go a little deeper and take the time to get to know yourself. I think life goes by so fast. We're so busy. There's not very many times where we just take a second, we pause, assess. I don't even think we write anymore. I'm not speaking for everyone. I just know for myself, I don't hold space for myself to sit there and journal. And so just even sitting with yourself for a second and writing out your intentions and your goals is huge. So I'm gonna kind of like set the tone for us to get you thinking about this. So for me, for example, like I just even started thinking about like what I want my morning routine to look like. Like I don't want to wake up rushed into 25 meetings. I don't want to wake up and be in meetings before I've had the time to take care of myself. So some of my journaling and things that I was outlining for my 2025 would be like, waking up slowly, drinking a matcha, listening to classical music, meditating, having some time to read, going to the gym, really having a moment with myself before I had to give access to anything else outside of myself so I could show up as the best version of me. And there's so many different aspects when you're manifesting, vision boarding, goal setting, from career to relationships to your friendships and what you want those things to look like. So let me kind of outline these prompts for you. Before we outline those prompts together, I want you to do something. So you're going to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine what you want your life to look like in 2025. How does it feel? What's around you? So just take a moment to think about that. Okay, now that we've kind of set a little bit of those intentions, this is where we're going to utilize AI to make manifesting happen a little bit faster. And so there is 10 prompts that you are going to put into ChatGPT, and you are going to ask ChatGPT to ask you these questions one by one, okay? And so the first prompt is, what does a perfect day in your 2025 life look like? Okay? The next one is, what does success look like for you in your career? That's a big one for me this year. 3, what kind of relationships and connections do you envision? For me, this is the year of my goddess energy. I am the goddess, I am the queen, and I am calling in my king energy. I am ready for my divine soulmate partner. So I don't know what that looks like for you, but it could be something totally different. 4, what does your dream home feel like? This was an interesting one for me when I was outlining this, because this year I'm dead set on buying my own home. I've always wanted to buy a home with my partner, or like with my husband, but I've decided that there's 2 pieces to that this year. I would love to buy a space that is my own, decorated exactly how I want it, and it be my little girl cave office, whatever it is. And then when I call in my divine partner, my king, obviously we'll have a home of our own together. And that I envision being more like our wellness retreat, where we like raise our kids and we have like sauna and cold plunge and just like very comfy and earthy, and something so different from my own space, which I'll probably do the same crazy stuff I do now with Pink and Barbie. And I just think decorating your home or your space is such a fun expression of yourself, especially if you are a single woman and you're in that holding place of waiting to call in your king. I really encourage you to play with what your space looks like. Decorate and make it what you want, because there's only a certain amount of time that you're going to be single. So do what you want with your space. 5, how do you want your body and physical health to feel and look? Ooh, for me, like I said, we are embodying the goddess energy this year. All over my vision board, it's like Greek goddess, super toned, super fit, animal-based diet, which I'm basically following right now. I'm clearly very pale, so this vampire needs to go in the sun some more. But it's already things that I'm encompassing. I go to the gym, I eat healthy. This year we're just gonna take it a little bit further and do it better and more loving than I've ever done it for my body before. 6, what habits or routines do you want to consistently embody? And I'll let you think about that one for you. 7, what is your relationship with money like in 2025? As a recovering shopaholic with a lot of material items in her closet, I felt personally attacked by this one. But I know that this is a year for me financially where it's all going to make sense. I feel it deep within my own intuition. And not only that, when you're creating and you're doing things that align with your calling and what you continuously feel called to, I promise you at some point the money is going to come. When you're not focusing so much on why is the money not here, why is it not happening, you're putting way too much emphasis on a resource, okay? All money is a resource, okay? So if you're having some money blocks, if you have beliefs about money that are not allowing it to come into your life, all you have to do is sit there, recognize that, and you wake up and you choose, I'm clearing the rocks out of the way. And then the resource will start coming. I promise. I've watched it happen for myself so many times. What activities bring you joy and allow you to recharge? That's a good question. That looks so different for everyone. I know for me, as someone in corporate America in back-to-back meetings, like I'm just so happy when my mind has like a moment of peace. So whatever that looks like for you. Um, what fears or limiting beliefs do you want to overcome? I feel like for myself personally, in my outline, there's a lot of calls to work on my own podcast agency, work on my podcast, but like my day-to-day corporate career, I'm a marketer and I love it, but I need the creative aspects. And so, for me, there's fear of trying to work a full-time job, but still trying to pursue my passions at the same time. And I just have to remember to just keep pouring into myself. And so that's a fear I'm working on because a career or a job is so important. I mean, it's value, but it's not everything. It's not. 10. What values or principles will guide you as you create this vision? Ooh, for me, I keep telling myself this year that I am the light. I feel it in me. I feel like God or the divine telling me I am the light. I am meant to shine. This is my year to shine. And there's a reason that I keep hearing that and keep being told. I deeply trust my female intuition. And I keep trying to remind myself that, like, so many things with, like, my podcast in the past or just even myself in general is this fear of being seen. And, I used to tell my mom this all the time, like, I don't know, I don't want people looking at me at the gym, or I don't want people paying attention to me. And my mom would always be like, oh, people aren't looking at you. And I'm like, Mom, I am 5'11" and blonde. Like, I'm not even saying this in like an egotistical way or anything, but people look at me like I'm a 5'11" female. Even when I don't want any attention on me, it's happening. And I'm honestly like, I'm not shy because I have this like very deep, like internal voice compass. I'm just very, very reserved and very to myself and very cautious of where I place my energy, and that for me is for my own protection and for my own good reason. So this year for me, I have to be seen. Like I have to. So those are the 10 questions. I'm going to outline them in the show notes. These are the questions you're going to type into ChatGPT, and you're going to ask ChatGPT to ask you them one by one. And you want to take the time to do this. Like sit there with yourself and feed into ChatGPT as much as you can. The better and more you give this AI ChatGPT, the more it's going to know about you and understand you and just help with kind of outlining your dream life for 2025. And don't play small, okay? I had one of my girlfriends over here the other night. I had her sit here and put the prompts in, and like some of her goals were like get a $5,000 raise this year. I'm like, no, like you've got to think way, way bigger than that. And if I can even just help one woman think a little bit bigger than that, that means the world to me. So, okay, so once you've done that, you've answered the 10 questions, what we're going to do is we're going to prompt ChatGPT with a couple other things. So the first thing we're going to do is using this thread of my 2025 goals, I want to create a dream life journal that I can print and use daily. It should include my dream story, a detailed vision of the life I'm manifesting in 2025. And I truly believe this is the coolest part. It's gonna feel like ChatGPT just read your mind. It's gonna feel like the universe is talking to you. It's going to clearly outline your dream life for 2025, and I hope you get chills from it, because I know I did. Okay, and then the next thing you're gonna ask ChatGPT is a quote from my future self, an inspiring message to set the tone for each day. You're also, I think I didn't do a quote, I asked it for a mantra. I'm on some spiritual things. So you can ask it for a quote from your future self, or you can ask it for like a daily mantra. Actually, let me look and remember what mine is. Okay, my mantra for 2025, I am the light, the vessel, and the love. I trust in my divine path, show up authentically, and shine unapologetically. So I really think you should do that. It's pretty cool. Okay, the next thing you're going to ask ChatGPT is your top 5 goals. A clear list of your top 5 priorities for 2025, and it's going to pull that from the 10 questions we answered. It's going to pull that from your 2025 dream day. Okay, then you're going to ask ChatGPT for your ideal day, a table that breaks down my perfect day by time and activity. For planners, this is going to be monumental because it'll break it down like, 7 a.m. you should be drinking matcha, 12 to 2 p.m. you should be working at your agency, you want to be well rested and fit, so you need 8 hours of sleep, so 8 p.m. you should go to bed. This is something I need to utilize more. I am not the most regimented person. Someone like my sister, she's that girl in her notes that details her day from wake up to day's end, and I admire the hell out of her. I wish I was like that, and I'm hoping this will help me be better. Okay, the next one into ChatGPT. Weekly Sunday service. 3 dedicated pages to reflect on the past week, plan for the upcoming week, and track habits. This section will include a habit tracker to monitor progress. Okay, this Sunday service thing is really cool. I kind of do Sunday service with one of my girlfriends, Rebecca, anyway. We meet every Sunday and we kind of go over goals, we plan things for the week, and I think having a Sunday service section in your journal where you can go reflect what's working well for you towards your 2025 goals and what's not working, that's going to keep you on track. You have to know where you're going to get to where you want to be. Okay, the last one. This is kind of cool. It's kind of corny, but it's kind of cool. Bingo card for 2025 goals. So it's like a fun and playful way to keep track of the things that we've already outlined in your 2025 dream day. So for me, for example, when I find my king, you can bet I'm going to check that off, that bingo card. So basically what it's doing is it's breaking down your 2025 goals into actionable milestones to play bingo with yourself. And so once you've done all of that, you've already done all of the prompts, we've already created your 2025 dream day. The rest of the prompts that we just discussed, that's going to create your 2025 dream journal, where it's going to be a printable PDF with all of these prompts that we've used. And you know what? I'm probably going to create a Canva PDF for you guys and share it, where you can go put this into the Canva PDF, save it as a PDF, and then print it and use it as your 2025 journal. I'm gonna make that my little 2025 New Year's present to you, because I need to do it for myself as well. It's on my to-do list. I haven't printed my journal yet. But there is 2 other ChatGPT prompts I would like you to play with outside of the journal. And the first one is, what are the top 10 affirmations I should be saying every morning? I think that's really fun. It relates to all of the goals you've already outlined. I know for myself, I used to be a sticky note on the mirror girl. I used to read all of these sticky notes with all these affirmations. I'm a lucky girl syndrome. The beauty you see is the beauty within me. All the little woo-woo stuff, but these are gonna be way better because they're written for you. And then the last one, this one I almost didn't want to prompt ChatGPT with because it felt a little dark to me. But I was like, you know what? You have to see the darkness sometimes to see the light. There's the duality. So if you were the devil, how would you attack me? And I promise it's not going to say anything too nasty, too scary. It's really just eye-opening. So yeah, basically you're gonna get your dream life journal out of this. You're gonna get so much other information, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna have a very clear outline of what you want your life to feel like. You're gonna read your story back to you, and you're gonna be so excited because you're like, this is exactly how I wanted to feel. This is exactly what I wanted my life to look like, okay? But we need to visualize that. So what I encourage you to do is take your story, go onto Pinterest, and start pulling images that speak to you, whether it's colors, like maybe you feel really drawn to yellow and sunsets, or it's quotes, like maybe there's something from your affirmations that's so profound about self-love or relationships. So pull not only those images, but also those words into a Pinterest board. And then I encourage you to cut those pictures out and put them on a vision board. And I think for me, it's always so fun. It's like really healthy for my inner child, because I don't sit very often on my bedroom floor cutting out Pinterest images and gluing them with a glue stick. So it felt very kindergarten, very sweet, and very fun when I was doing mine. And honestly, my board this year is so beautiful to me because it's focused so much more on a feeling rather than material items, like I said, and I can just so feel that and see it on my board, which makes me so fucking happy. Anyway, and just so you guys can kind of get what I have outlined for myself, I'm gonna read you something about my king that I'm trying to call in. I've been dreaming about calling in my king, someone who sees me, values me, and allows me to run free as the wild, passionate soul that I am. Our connection will feel like deep belly laughter and a love so pure it inspires others. That gives me chills myself because, like I said, manifesting is a feeling. So I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to visually show you my vision board. Obviously, if you're listening on audio, you're not going to be able to see it. This is on YouTube. It should be on my Instagram. So there's my vision board that I've created for myself this year. And my whole purpose of this is just to remind you that you're capable of creating the life that you dream of. I say this all the time, life's like a video game. You can wake up any day and decide to be a new version of yourself. It's really that easy. You don't have to be an NPC, a non-player character. You just have to know your vision and where you want to go and remind yourself that you are worthy of that. And I really appreciate you tuning in to the little comeback of the pain in my cast, because you know I'm the OG pain in the ass. And, you know, I just encourage you to keep your heart open in 2025. And I think our next episode will be about finding your king and calling in a partner who deeply aligns with your version of love and what that looks like for you, and how to find him, how to show up with self-love so you're prepared to receive your king. And when you're ready for that, that's a big focus for me in 2025. So I can't wait to share that with you. Love you guys. XOXO, Cass. Ah.